Let's see what we can find. Oh, well, I'd say that's pretty good. What's up, gamers? Update 4.1 is here, available to download now. No downtime on the servers, so just download it, jump straight in, enjoy the updates. I think it's a pretty good one on the whole. I'm going to go over some of the changes for you here. Please excuse the audio quality while I'm talking about the updates. I'm full of cold at the moment and my microphone was not having it, so sorry about that. But anyway, let's get into the juicy updates and hope to see you on the battlefield soon. Yeah, this is... Okay, gamers, so they give a little overview here. So they talk about Boris's sentry gun, Angel's armor plates, the stock weapons handling better through improved base recoil, and they also talk about all-out warfare playlists have been updated. The big thing is breakthrough 128 players removed, but there's also some vehicle balancing that they've done, so we'll get into that a little bit. But let's just go into some of the stuff here. So we've got General, the vehicle aim sensitivity and transport vehicle free look sensitivity, controller settings now correctly apply their effects. There's two big ones for aim assist here. The aim assist has been improved while aiming at moving targets, and aim assist should no longer incorrectly acquire targets through thin obstacles. When not ranking up, you should no longer see the "you have been promoted" screen during the end of rounds, and we've been getting used to seeing that since the last update, but they've taken that away as promised, so that's good. They've delivered improvements to help reduce input lag. Time will tell on that one. And they've adjusted the trigger weight to ensure that inputs feel more responsive. There's a small audio update to the 1942 and Battlefield 3 experience announcer voices, just making those a little bit better. Portal specialist animations improved, and they've made some changes to the templates to enable HUD in hardcore templates and disable minimap and compass in hardcore templates. As far as gadgets go, EMP grenade effects now correctly trigger player disrupted XP. I don't think I ever saw that. They've removed placement delay for deployables, so they just, as soon as you pop them down now, they appear, which is nice. And deployable gadgets now easier to deploy. Don't know how they could be much easier than they already were, but fair enough. Insertion beacon is now larger, so it's easy to see and can be seen from further away. Now with the modes, like I said, they've taken away 128 player breakthrough, and so now there's just 128 player conquest and 64 player conquest and 64 player breakthrough. They will be making some further changes at the start of Season 1, and they highlight them here, and basically it's to bring back 128 player breakthrough, but only for certain maps. So you'll just be playing breakthrough. There'll be no choice of which one you do, but one map will be 64 player, another map might be 128. Soldier, the compass now expands while in aim down sight, so that just helps you call out the direction to your squad mates of where enemies are. That's if you're using the voice over IP, of course. As we said, specialists, Angel will no longer be able to grant armor plates via supply bag. Now Boris's turret is quite extensive what they've done here. Clearly they've been feeling the hatred flow through us and have answered accordingly. So they've made a bunch of changes and they've just sort of highlighted most of them here. It no longer tracks players behind walls. It now highlights spotted players with a red dot rather than highlighting the whole body of the player, which is nice, and it's also visible for friendlies too, so it's a little bit of a bonus for the Boris player there, but the rest of it's pretty much a big thumbs down for him. The RPM's been reduced from 450, which is like a slow firing machine gun, to 250, which is like a 6-shooter revolver kind of speed. And the start damage down from 16 to 10, end damage down from 10 to 7, so a big drop off there. The fall off damage range has been decreased, so it starts losing damage quicker. The projectile speed's been cut in half. The turret's actual health has been cut down by 25%. Takes longer for the turret to lock on and less time for it to forget you. The range of the lock on has been reduced by 15 meters down to 50, and the reload speed just been up just a little bit, so it reloads a bit quicker, but I don't think that'll make much difference. You're going to be getting killed by those a lot less now. Dozer's ballistic shield has been fixed with the little smoke bug, with it not dealing damage, and Irish's fortification system has had its recharge rate reduced from 25 down to 20. So there's some weapon updates here. They reverted an unintended change from update 4.0 with incorrect values to the damage tables on some of the weapons. They've reduced the recoil affecting... Sorry, let me explain this better. So the base recoil for most weapons has been reduced. To balance that, attachments for weapons that reduce recoil have been debuffed slightly so that the effect is less of a bonus. And now bolt action sniper rifle, the breath control now lasts a max of 5 seconds. And then they added a 5-second penalty if used entirely, so don't hold your breath too long or you'll be getting those hiccups. Okay, underbarrel attachments no longer affect weapon deploy speed. Horizontal recoil for DMRs overall has been reduced. They also have done a little bit extra for one of the other ones. We'll get to that in a second. And the sidearms are now faster to deploy, thank goodness, because before they were like made of lead or something. The AC-42 has increased the distance of damage drop off at higher ranges. So the damage goes down more. No longer can you just fire bursts out into the void and get kills, I think. And there's a couple with the AK here, but I think one of them's not correct. So remove the AK-24 semi-auto fire mode. Now, I have actually used the semi-auto fire mode today, so I don't know about that one. Maybe they'll turn that off at some point, but it's not been done yet. And the burst mode rate of fire has been increased to 900 RPM. So they're trying to make the burst more viable, I think, because nobody was using it before. NTW-50s had improvements to its effectiveness against vehicles, and they've also added additional damage multiplier versus tank tracks. So they want you using it to disable enemy vehicles a lot more, I think. The PKP's received a nerf, and its vertical recoil has been increased, as well as they've added some more horizontal recoil from what I'm reading here. The SFAR has had some stuff done to it. The damage at short to medium range for the grenade launcher has been improved. What improved means we're not quite sure, but I'm sure we'll find out. And now taking down an enemy now requires 5 instead of 4 bullets while at 20 meters. So I assume 20 meters is the maximum damage before the drop off starts. And they've decreased the grenade launcher distance damage drop off as well. I said before there was one of the DMRs had its horizontal recoil reduced, and that's the SVK here. And they've increased the distance damage drop off past 40 meters, and they've also made the high power rounds damage lowered past 150. I guess it didn't before. And now taking down an enemy requires 3 instead of 2 bullets. I think that's why they've reduced the horizontal recoil further with the SVK, because it was quite severe before. Vehicles. They fixed a bug with XP not being rewarded when capturing an objective in a vehicle that wasn't spawned via the deploy menu. So if you called something in, you might not get XP for capping an objective with it. And they've talked about here, I'll just briefly cover over this. So in a bunch of the different modes and on certain maps, they've adjusted the amount of available vehicles for attackers or defenders, or sometimes both, just to try and balance things out a bit more. The MAV is now part of the transport vehicle category at last, and the Bolt is now part of the armoured vehicle category. So should be seeing a lot less of those driving around now, and they've also fixed the missile launcher. It no longer deals unintentional increased damage to air vehicles. So that is the update, guys. They also said, remember, that Season 1 is coming in early June. At the moment, they hope. Let's hope we hear something about that in the next week or two, eh? And then we can get excited for that. What do you think about this update? You excited? You think it's good? Or do you think there's still more to be done? Or maybe you've just given up completely? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you on the battlefield.